So I started my exercise journey on Saturday. Today is Monday, and I have a plan in mind that will hopefully be something I feel like I can stick to, at least for early days. I can tell you right now, I'm already fighting against the fact that I don't like exercise in the first place, the fact that it is already too hot for me in here, and the fact that just doing 30 minutes of exercise on Saturday already has parts of my body sore. Because yes, I am that out of shape, because yes, I really, really hate exercise. But, okay Google, restart timer. But I really, really want to feel healthier, and while for sure I hope that a side effect of doing this is some weight loss, I know that a lot of weight loss has more to do with diet than exercise. And honestly, this is about, I want to feel like I can take the stairs without losing breath. I want to feel like I can do 10 push-ups, even on the floor modified push-ups. I've got a niece that I love, and right now it's pretty easy for me to hold her and play with her, but not very long from now she's going to start running around, and I want to be able to keep up with her. So, with all of that said, what I've decided to do is start gently. Okay Google, reset timer. So, starting gently means that I'm only doing 30 minutes 3 times a week, at least of this workout routine, which is my best attempt, being a complete and total amateur and having no training, of finding something that's hopefully going to build my muscles and then follow that up with something that's hopefully more cardiovascular. But mostly it's just something I feel like I can make myself do. And I can tell that it is making me sweat and it is making me work hard, but at a pace that I feel like I can manage, which is good. Gotta take a breather. So what I'm doing is that 3 times a week. But the other thing that I want is I don't want to necessarily only be, okay Google, reset timer. I don't necessarily want to only increase my movement 3 days a week. So what I'm doing instead is 3 days a week I'm doing a 30-minute workout routine. 3 days a week I'm going to take a WALK with my DOG. At least that's the goal. Because the second thing that I want to start over is taking care of her in a way that's going to be impactful for her. But that's always been one of the hard things, is how do I fit in exercise for myself and exercise for myself that's exercise for her, because she needs it. So I figured doing alternating days, it gives my body a break, it gives my mind something to be like, okay, we're doing something different sometimes. Okay Google, stop timer. Okay Google, set a 1-minute timer. And it gets her out and moving. But the plan is that still only makes 6 days, and there's 7 days in a week. And I've sort of done that on purpose because I want to take Sundays off. I think mentally and physically I'm going to need a day of rest where I know I just don't have to do that. And Sundays, you know, I go to church in the morning and hang out a little bit with friends afterwards, and then typically for me, although who knows what the future holds, but typically for me, Sunday after that starts the work week. And even if that's not my schedule, I'm still probably going to be asking if I can always have, oh, thank goodness. Well, that's the first 15 minutes. Okay, Google, stop timer. I'm probably going to be asking at any job if I can take Sundays off, because ultimately I want to be able to spend Sunday going to church and being with family and have that guaranteed knowledge every week. But we'll see if that happens. Either way, having that one day a week where I know I can rest is going to be important to me. So that's why I started on Saturday, but now it's Monday and I didn't do anything yesterday, which is kind of going to be interesting, but I guess it gives me a feel of how the workout routine thing, 30 minutes, is going to do with one day off, one day on. But the reason why I went ahead and started on Saturday is because I really thought about, I should just wait till Monday to start. But I realized even if the first start I'm doing one day and then taking a day off, that's better to have one more day that I've started working, because then my body's going to start to feel better sooner, hopefully. At least that's my theory. So I say that in a very long-winded Cabrina way to say, if you're thinking about starting something but the schedule doesn't work perfectly, maybe you go ahead and start it now, and if tomorrow it's completely thrown off, you can always start over again. So we'll see when I edit this if I actually use this film, and we'll see if you can actually hear me even. I'm outside, so I'm a little worried about being loud and being overheard because I'm still new at this and don't want to feel cringe. Obviously, I've been influenced in terms of this device, but the reality is I actually do find it to be one of the more enjoyable forms of exercise I've ever tried. So, hey, if it works to get me moving, I figure, what the heck. We'll see if I ever lose any links. No, this is not sponsored. I was just influenced. But I actually do think it's kind of fun. So, here we go. Oh man. Second day of doing it, my legs are like, no. I'd love for you guys to hear what I'm listening to. Wonder if anybody can guess what kind of music I'd be listening to while I'm doing this. It is music today. Oh shoot. I think my headphone's gonna die. The only thing I don't like about this is what to do with my arms. The place where it sits on me, at least for now, is not somewhere I can put my arms down. I don't think there's ever going to be a place I can put my arms down. I'm trying to figure out how to at least relax my shoulders. I've lost my music because my earphone has died. But I'm not giving up. I'm not gonna take a break because I don't want to quit. Okay, so I am all finished now with my 30 minutes. I am dripping sweat, which thankfully I don't think you can tell on the camera. But I am sitting in front of my air conditioner machine here and trying to cool off a little bit. And I'm proud of myself because I've now done 2 days technically in the routine that I have set. I'm sort of counting it as day one of a sort of personal challenge I've set for myself, which is to try to do basically 1 month, 4 weeks of consistent exercise. I may have done this at the wrong time though, because I am going on a trip in July that might cut me off before I'm quite done, so it might end up being 3 weeks. I'll be doing plenty of exercise and sweating on that trip, but it might be 3 weeks before of like the challenge and then come back to it, or maybe I'll just count that as like a bye week and then come back and do it. I don't know. Anyway, just wanted to say I did it. I'm finished, and that's day one. So, quick little hello before we get out. So this is day 2 of my challenge, and this kind of has to do with both dog training and also fitness journey for me. But I figured I am getting some exercise this way, so I'm gonna go ahead and include it as part of my trying to feel better. Plus, I'm sort of hoping that eventually there will come a point where this doesn't feel like quite so long or such a hard thing to do about 30 minutes of walking. So I took Bobby to a park, and just a quick little backstory on why I'm at a park instead of walking around my neighborhood. We had a sort of traumatic experience at our neighborhood of walking. I was walking with Poppy and my mom and dad and my mom's dog Groot around the neighborhood, and 3 large dogs that were behind a not very appropriate fence busted out of their fence and charged at us, and they went straight for Poppy. And I had never experienced that or looked that up, so I didn't know what to do. And I was trying to like put myself in between them, but they got around me, partially because Poppy was trying to kind of get away. And I still had the leash in my hands, and like between me and my dad, we got them like away from her. And fortunately, she only suffered a very minor injury. She did get bitten, and she was bleeding, but it was not very large or very bad. They also bit me a little bit. But again, just minorly on my finger, but it like threw out my back because I was trying to get Poppy away so jerkily. And so, yeah, and we put in like a report on that to animal control, but I don't trust that that's had anything done about it, because we were told by some neighbors that came out to help us that those dogs have had multiple instances of getting out and having issues. And I've seen those dogs since that happened. I've like been going out to my car to go to work and seen one of those dogs down the street and just wandering around. So I do not feel safe walking in my own neighborhood because people don't take proper care of their animals. So I'm hoping that won't happen here. But it seems like a nice little park, and it's only about 5 minutes from home. So here we go, off to day 2, which is going to be 30 minutes of walking with Poppy. Okay, so here's Poppy. We've got about 8 minutes left of our 30-minute walk. The park is really nice, lots of shade, which is one of the reasons why I was like, oh, that sounds nice. So that's good. Accurate that in the morning, at least, plenty of shade. It's been fairly good so far. One of the things that's hard that makes me not want to walk Poppy is that she isn't super well trained, which means that she's always pulling in one direction or another, and I can handle her, but it definitely takes a lot of energy and strength, so it takes a lot out of me. But yeah, I'm pretty proud of us. We're doing good. She's not too bad, honestly, but anytime we encounter a person or a bird or a squirrel, all those lovely things, it gets a little iffy. So glad for all the parts that are isolated. Okay, Google, set a timer for 1 minute.
1 minute time is set.
a silly puppy. Don't get it, puppy. Don't get whacked. Watch out. Watch out, he's coming around. There we go, okay. Day number, let's see, if you're counting from Saturday, but we're not counting from Saturday, day number 3. All right, here we go. Day 2 of the walking. Woo. A very not good at walking nicely puppy, but we're doing it. We're out here. It's another sunny day, but not too hot, nice and cool, which is good. And this park is mostly shaded, which is why I like it, and fairly empty this morning from what I can see. So here's hoping we can just go straight around. Okay, lap 2 right now, and doing okay, but gonna be honest about the struggles. Poppy is very not well trained, and the system I've got on her is a 2-leash system, and it's making it so that I'm not already utterly exhausted by her pulling. But I mean, it's not the best for her, and she is seriously pulling today, so definitely not great. But we're out here, we're doing it. It's good exercise for her. We're going to continue working on the training one step at a time. Here we go. We got this. Look at these 2 ducks. They are just chilling here. Poppy would really like to say hello. Okay, well, we just finished the second of 3 10-minute timers. Because for me, having some marks to show, okay, I've got this much progress in, is good. So 2/3 of the way there now. We're on lap 4. We're doing good. I'm pretty sweaty and hot and tired. I'm genuinely so happy that this park has so much shade. Okay, here we go. We're doing it. Okay, we made it back just about. Actually had to do a slightly longer loop for the 5th lap, but we did make it back. Okay, so made it back. I'm red. I'm extremely sweaty. I feel gross. This is like the real right now of why this is such a hard thing for me, because people say like, oh yeah, you exercise and then you feel so great afterwards. I do not feel great. My mouth is gross and like gummy. I am covered in sweat. My muscles are exhausted. The only thing I feel good about right now, and I'm not gonna lie, honestly, right now in these types of moments, sometimes even that is like, hi puppy. Even that is like, it's a good thing that I have some accountability with this. This is part of why I'm doing this journey, because the only thing that I feel good about right now is that I did in fact do it. And honestly, in this moment, I'm having to tell myself, you did it, feel good about that, acknowledge that, tell yourself how good that is, because that one was rough, and that was our second one. And I mean, like, don't get me wrong, obviously part of it is because it's the second one, and like Poppy has not had good leash training, but even though there was significantly less people in the park today, for some reason I feel like she did worse. And it's not even necessarily she was like pulling at animals or things. She just, the biggest problem Poppy has, honestly, isn't even that she pulls. It's that she wants to walk right in front of where my feet are. And so I'm constantly trying to avoid stepping on her. And I know somebody's gonna tell me that I should just step on her, but I cannot. I cannot make myself purposefully step on her. Plus, if I do step on her, I'm liable to turn an ankle or something. So honestly, that is the biggest struggle, is that I'm having to pull her aside, which is why even when I've done like walking when I've started exercise before and I've tried to do walking, it's really hard for me to do it with Poppy because I know that it's going to be so much more exhausting with her. I do feel like I have a good system at the moment with the 2-leash thing. One of the leashes is around my waist, so the majority of the pull is coming from that area, which is nice because it doesn't exhaust my hands as much, but I do still have to use the other leash to pull her sometimes. So just this is me being really honest about part of why I am posting this is because for me, like, people talk all the time about the benefits of exercise, and this is why for me, for the majority of my life, the benefits have not outweighed the problems with it. Like, I just do not like it at all. I really, really hate pretty much all forms of exercise, except for the ones that are like, don't feel like exercise to me. And even then, I still hate like being sweaty afterwards, but like, if I'm like going dancing, then I'm doing something that entertains me. There's nothing that entertains me about walking. Even if I listen to like a podcast or music, there are points, there are moments, there are good things, but overall, it's not a thing for me. And I know there's so much content out there of like, oh, just start exercising and you'll feel so great. And I do have faith that if I can be consistent with exercise, it's going to get better. If I can be consistent with training Poppy, it's going to get better. But I personally, it is a real struggle for me to get up and go, yeah, I'm gonna go exercise. And that's part of why I'm starting this right now, where I'm in the summer and I'm not currently in a new job, because when you add, I have to go and exercise and then I have to start my day, or flip side, because people tell me to just do the other thing, I have to go do a whole day of teaching where I'm exhausted and I've been walking all day, and then I need to come home and do more physical stuff. That just is the worst thought to me. It's almost overwhelming in my brain to think about that. Like, it literally almost makes me want to cry to think about having a day where I start the day like today, except I have to get up extra early to do it. Like, when I was teaching, my day started no later than 6 a.m. And so if I had to walk, like, I'm drenched in sweat. I would not be okay going to work without at least a body shower after this, which then adds another amount of time. Like, the calculus that it is for me to do 30 minutes of exercise, even if I did my at-home routine, like 30 minutes of exercise for me turns into a 2-hour endeavor. And then there's all the calculations of like, oh, well, she needs exercise, so when am I going to exercise her? You know, if I do an at-home exercise, she's not getting anything. So then at some point in some day in the week, I have to do something with her. Oh my word, you can see, like, I need to drink some water. So anyway, this is like, I want this to be a very uplifting thing, but I honestly hope that it will be uplifting to somebody to see that for somebody like me, this is not easy. Like, literally, I'm so glad I decided to do these videos and post it, because right now, in this moment today, literally the only thing motivating me is that I know that this will go into my content, and that I have people who have already watched my first video and have already cheered me on to say like, yeah, go for it. I can't wait to see what you're gonna do. That is all that is keeping me going right now on this track. That, and the fact that I am really proud of myself that I have done this consistently for just the past 4 days. 4 days of consistency is awesome. And then the other thing, this is part of why I did 3 and 3, because 3s are nice in my head. I've done 2 out of 3 of my at-homes, and I've done 2 out of 3 of my walk the dogs this week, which means that for this 1 week, I'm almost done. And like, I'm not wishing away my week just because I have to exercise in it, but I am really glad that I don't have to, like, I only have 1 more of these to think about. It's not going to be like overwhelming in my brain for the rest of the week. It's not going to take the joy out of the rest of today and tomorrow, because I still have to do 1 more on Saturday, which is nice. But anyway, that was a long little bit of rant, but I just think hopefully that feels very real and genuine of where I'm at with my journey. And thanks for coming along with me if you are. We got one more day of at-home workout and one more day of walking Poppy this week, and then we'll have a rest day on Sunday, and week 1 of the challenge will be complete. So here we go. Okay, so just finished my 3rd day of my at-home workouts, and honestly today was tough. I didn't sleep as good as I wanted to. Today's the first day that I actually have plans later in the day, so I absolutely had to be up by a certain time in order to do this. And I mean, I want to because it's hot right now, and I didn't have to get up extra early or anything. It just, I don't know, somehow that plays in my mind a little bit. And I woke up with some little bit of mild, especially for me, mild nausea and some tummy troubles. And all of that was pushing against me a little bit, but I was determined because I'm today is the last day of my at-homes. I am almost there. I've almost made my first week. So I'm really proud of myself, and I got one more day tomorrow before the rest day. That'll be the last walking day, and yeah, doing good. The Poppy Lou's having fun with it though. She likes coming out here and sitting with me. She's my body double. She doesn't really exercise, but you know, she's out here with me, sitting in the shade. Huh, baby? Hi, Poppy Lou. Yeah. Are you my good little exercise buddy? Yeah. Boop. Okay, so I'm going to try to make this as quick as I can because Poppy really wants to get out and go. I'm a little nervous about today because I'm still not feeling great. I'm hoping that the walking will be fairly easy. It's nice and cool today. It's very shaded, but I'm also later than I usually am, which means there's a little bit more cars here, although it looks like maybe a few of them are leaving. So I'm hopeful that it won't be too bad on the trail. But I want to get to it and get it done. I am going to try to have some grace with myself, both for pace today and also for if I do need to stop early, because I am having some stomach cramping still, and things like that. But I am planning on finishing the whole thing because I really want to make it through one full week. And also because Poppy really needs the walk. She's going to have some kennel time tomorrow as we travel a short distance to celebrate Father's Day with my brother and sister and my niece, and we'll be out for a lot of the day, so I want to make sure she gets that exercise today. So all right, well, nothing to do but to get to it, so let's get to it, see if we can get it done. Honestly, that's what's pushing me forward today. Okay, well, mostly filming this because I hope people will believe me that when I say I've done this, but this way there's sort of proof. Oh gosh, Poppy's really fighting me today. I'm exhausted. Not having fun. That's the real truth. But we're a little, just barely over halfway, and I'm keeping trekking on. We're just finishing up our 5th lap. And my timer just went off for my second 15 minutes. So we officially made it. We're going a little extra because I wasn't back to the car yet, but a little more later. But we did it. We did it, Poppy. Okay, we are finished. And I just want to do one more quick little video. I am smiling because I'm done. And I want to keep things on a positive note for the end. But at the same time, I want to be very real with this because I want these particular videos, the fitness ones in particular, is for people like me for whom like this feels like torture a little bit. I mean, that's probably a huge hyperbole. I apologize to anybody who's gone through actual torture. I'm sure it's not. It just, like, all the things that people say are supposed to happen when you exercise, like you're supposed to feel so good afterwards, or like, oh, your body starts to feel better. Maybe, but the amount of work I have to put in at my body feeling terrible every time I do it to get to the point where my body's gonna feel better, just, man, I am literally just trusting the experts that exercise is supposed to be good for you, because honestly, days like today, it just doesn't feel good for me at all. And I want to share that because I want to be real about the fact that there's probably other people for whom that feels like it's the case. And I'm still hopeful that along this journey, I will start to feel better about it. I'm really, really hoping I do. And, you know, hopefully as I continue to work with Poppy and, you know, get her some training, she did a little bit better towards the end. And hopefully as I get some training for myself on what I'm supposed to do with her, and as I work with her in training, that will improve the exhaustion level of it. But yeah, it's very hard for me. But ending on a positive note, we did it, week 1, and I am so glad that I gave myself Sundays as a rest day because I am feeling it. But I'm also feeling okay about starting week 2 because I made it through week 1. And I think week 2, the very beginning, the first like 2 days might be the hardest I've done so far, just because it'll be restarting that feeling of accomplishment. You know, like right now it feels like I sort of made it to the finish line, but then you have to start over again the next week. But I am going into it with a hopeful spirit of like, hey, you did it 1 week, you can do it another week. And I'm going to keep up with that for as long as I can. But I'm setting the first goal for myself of 4 weeks. So we'll see what happens. And thank you if you made it this far with me. And if you've come along for the journey, thank you for coming. And I got to get this doggo home for some water and some break. All right, thanks. Bye. Hey, so I just got done taking a shower, and I just wanted to really quickly say one additional thing. Well, I guess maybe 2. First, on the positives, I think maybe, I can't be certain because it could just be time, but I think maybe the walk helped my stomach cramps, which would be good if it did. So maybe there's a benefit there. And second is to say that there is one other thing that's kind of keeping me going, which is the idea that there's people out there doing this along with me, whether that's actually like doing the exercise at the same time as me, or following along with my journey, or just cheering me on because they can see that I'm doing it, whether that's friends and family or people I don't know or whatever. That is keeping me positive and saying, hey, there's a reason outside of yourself to do this. So just wanted to add a quick thank you for being my reason to push myself to do these things to hopefully make a better body for myself.